Thank you, gaming gods. Thank you. So if you haven't heard, Tactics Ogre Reborn has leaked on the PlayStation Store. That's the big news that I want to be talking about. And I don't really cover leaks too much on this channel, but this is such an obvious win. This is for sure happening that I feel pretty safe talking about it. So how did we get here? Well, this all started with the infamous NVIDIA leak. So that had a ton of games on it. And the only things left from Square Enix to be released are a Tactics Ogre remaster, a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, and of all things, a Final Fantasy IX remake. So before I talk about what Tactics Ogre Reborn could possibly be, let's look at the PSP edition of Tactics Ogre Let Us Clean Together to see what's been improved in that game and to see where we have left to go with this new title. So there were quite a few improvements in the PSP edition of Tactics Ogre. For example, the music was vastly improved. It's much, much better. It was totally redone for the game. The character art is god tier now. The character art is phenomenal. They don't need to change that a bit. It is some of the best looking character art in a video game, period. I think absolutely love it. And then there were a lot of other gameplay tweaks as well. So there was the Chariot tarot card tweak, which was essentially you could rewind your turns and redo battles up to 50 different turns. And then there was the World's tarot card as well. When you beat the game, you could go back to any of the branching story path decisions and just immediately access them right away to experience new content. And in addition to that, there were other minor gameplay tweaks. For example, the spell effects and character abilities were improved. Those looked better. But two big things that weren't really touched were the environments. They remained relatively unchanged. They got a little bit of a polish. And same thing with the character sprites. They remained virtually unchanged, maybe a tiny bit of polish as well, but nothing significant. And you'd be hard to kind of see anything at a glance. And along with these changes and some other little ones, like your characters being able to move after attacking enemies, the game was a much easier experience and it was much more forgiving on the player. Some people welcomed that. Some didn't. But one thing that remained fairly consistent too was that the game was very much a grind in specific parts and depending on what kind of classes you wanted to level up and what characters. And there were a lot of other little improvements as well made to the game. Some people liked them, some didn't. And I just can't see them reverting back to the older versions of the game. So I think a lot of these changes in the PSP version are here to stay and will be present in this Reborn title. So given all the significant improvements already to the PSP version of the game, what's left and what should we expect? I can give you what I'm expecting. What I'm expecting is a remaster. And a big reason for that is the NVIDIA leak itself, because it says Tactics Ogre Remaster in the leak. So I think that is a very good indicator of where this is going to go. But what do we remaster? So the biggest things I think that they could do, there's three really. So one is the character sprites themselves. They can maybe upgrade them, change them, and make them look more in line with the great new character art. Maybe the environments will change. Maybe they'll totally redo the environments, spruce them up a bit along with all the other changes. And then the third thing they could maybe do, just like the PSP version did, is add in new recruitable characters, more recruitable characters that were already present, but you couldn't recruit them in the original versions. But I still think there has to be a significant change just because of the Reborn subtitle. That Reborn subtitle really throws me for a loop when it comes to what should I expect from this Tactics Ogre remaster. I don't even want a remaster personally. I want a full from the ground up HD 2D remake. And maybe some of you are getting sick of those HD 2D titles. I can't get enough of them. Like they still very much seem like the new kid on the block to me right now. And I just want more and more and more of them. And all of Square Enix's back catalog to very much be done in that style. Can't get enough of it. And I'm holding on to a sliver of hope that could be the case because of the Reborn subtitle once again. I know it's not likely, but a guy can dream. So at the end of the day, I think there should be a significant upgrade based off of the subtitle. I know that's a lot to go off of one little thing, but if it's just a straight up port with very few changes, it would make me very curious why they used Reborn, because Reborn makes it sound like something grand and it's new again. And it's not just being ported over with maybe just like a little bit of an overhaul. And a lot of you might not know this. The Sega Saturn version of Tactics Ogre had full spoken dialogue. I encountered that while researching information about Tactics Ogre for this video, and I never knew that, and I actually checked it out on YouTube. So maybe that's something they could incorporate as well, because full voice acting would be a big deal, I think. But we'll just have to wait and see. I very much hope it's a significant change. I feel like at least one thing has to be totally overhauled and completely redone for this new game. That's very much what I hope. But I'm also keeping the expectation that nothing really is going to change, because that way, when this game does release, I'll still be able to enjoy it and not lament the fact that it's pretty much the same as the PSP version, because I just love this game so much. So no, let me know what you all think about this Tactics Ogre Reborn leak on the PlayStation Store. Are you expecting significant changes, a few changes, no changes? Would you like an HD 2D title, or do you love the game the way it is? Definitely let me know, and I'll see you soon.